Welcome back. In today's class, we're going to do a well-rounded 15-minute full body stretch. So for today's class, you might want to have a couple of blocks if you're limited in your hamstrings, how much you can fold forward. You can watch me doing it, how a stiff person looks. You can watch Bridget will be doing it without the blocks, and Isabella will be mixing it up, a little bit of both. So we're going to begin just by opening up the spine through the side body. So change the cross of your legs from what you're normally used to. Take your arms out to your side. Feel that you're upright on your pelvis, you're not slouching back. And sitting upright, take your right arm up in the air, sit down through your right sit bone, and now lengthen through the right side of your spine. Instead of how far over you can lean, I want you to see how much stretch you can put through the right side of the spine. Breathe into the sensation you're feeling there. Come back up, take your left arm up, and as you sit down through your left hip, stretch over to the side. Now focus on the whole spine, from your tailbone all the way up, and as you breathe in, see if you can get more space through the side of the spine. Come back up. With the arms out to the side, let's stretch the neck now. So drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. And then visualize the nerves for your arms, the energy channels from the front of your neck, from the side of the base of your neck, and from the back, all lengthening down through your shoulder, through your elbow, through your fingertips. Like you're sending energy through the base of the neck, out through the fingertips. And as you're stretching here, don't be aggressive about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, you want to be right at a 5. Pin there and breathe into that. Bring your head back up and drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. So because of how this stimulates the vagus nerve, you might notice that it takes you into a pretty deep, relaxed state to stretch the neck this deeply. From the front of your neck, side and back of the base of the neck, release the tension down through your shoulder, through your elbow, send energy out through your fingertips. So this is where your arm nerves originate here in the brachial plexus, base of the neck. Feel, imagine, visualize them unwinding out through the fingertips. Bring your head gently back up on top. And then come onto your hands and your knees. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Now, round through your pelvis, tuck your buttocks to the backs of your knees, then round your lower back, your middle back, upper back, and your neck so that you look back to your navel. As you inhale, flip your sit bones up, then arch through your lower back, middle back, upper back, and then take the neck into extension. As you exhale, tuck the buttocks, round the lower back, middle back, upper back, and neck. And inhale into extension. Flip the sit bones, lower back, middle back, upper back, and neck. Come into neutral with your spine. And now we're going to try to make shoulder blade circles. So let your shoulder blades come towards each other. Then draw them down towards the buttock. Now spread your shoulder blades towards your hands. Keep them spread as you draw them up by your ears. Keep them up by your ears as you draw them towards each other. Draw them down the back. Now let's go in reverse. Draw them up to your ears. Press them towards your hands. Draw them down, keeping the press down, and then let them draw towards each other. Then come into neutral, shoulder blades broad on the back, press the hands down, and stretch back into your first child's pose, keeping the hands rooted through all four corners. Toes can point back or toes can stay curled under. I'll leave it up to you. Then come back up onto your hands and your knees. And bring your right foot up by your right hand. Bring your hands to your right knee and start to upright yourself. Stretch down from your left hip, down through your left shin, and raise your left arm up. So a great way to help with our thoracic mobility is by twisting. So we're going to come into our first twist. Hook your left elbow to your right knee. Let the rib cage soften into position, and then as you press the elbow down, lengthen from the sacrum to the back of your skull. Join your palms together. Then bring your hands down to the ground to the inside of your foot. Wiggle your right foot to the right a bit. You can stay here upright up onto the hands, or you might be able to lower down onto your elbows to get into the stretch, or elbows onto a block. But you want to feel that you can feel the groins releasing towards their own inner knees, that they're not twisting. And you should also feel that you're broad here across your sacrum and middle back ribs. Just go to where you need to go to feel the stretch. Pretty good up there. You're not going any deeper. Come back up onto the hands if you're in the deep lunge. Then bring your hips back over top of your left knee and start to straighten your right leg as best you can. You can wiggle the foot forward. You can stay with the hands onto the ground, or feel free to come up onto blocks. Now there's two different ways to do this stretch. I'm showing it with plantar flexion, and Bridget behind me is showing it with dorsiflexion. In this variation, you'll feel stretch on the front and the anterior tibialis. If you're going into dorsiflexion, you're going to feel it more in the back. So wherever you need to focus on opening, go for that. Imagine someone had a strap across your hips, pulling your hips back towards your back heel. Lengthen forward through the side ribs. Reach to the right inner foot as you deepen the right thigh into the hip socket. Now rebend your knee, and let's change sides. If you'd like, step back to down dog for a breath or two before you change sides. Otherwise, you can just step the other foot. So now left foot comes forward. Bring your hands to your left knee and begin to upright yourself. Raise your right arm up as your right center buttock moves in and down. Then twist, hook your elbow to your knee. Press the elbow down and feel the length from the sacrum to the back of the skull. Join the palms. Let the rib cage spin without losing your length. Breathe all the way down towards your belly and let the belly breath help to activate the parasympathetic, calming, cooling. So when you're in the relaxed state, your body will naturally go to its least restriction in its range of motion. So let your breath continue to cue your body to go towards its edge of flexibility. Bring your hands down, hands to the inside of the foot, onto the ground, or practice going onto your elbows. Really showing a lot of thigh in these shorts. These are revealing. Breathe into your stretch here. I have to retire these ones. Come back up onto your hands if you're on your elbows. And then for the half splits, bring your hips back over top of your knee and slide your foot forward. Hang out in the plantar flexion or go for dorsiflexion. Blocks are not your call. Reach to the left big toe mound so the inner foot gets its stretch. Release your hip crease back. So from the big toe mound, up the inseam of the leg, up to your belly, let the hip crease drop back. And then feel the stretch forward through your side ribs. So you're breathing length through the core of the spine. Then rebend your knee. And you can step back into downward facing dog from there. Set your knees down and sit in Dandasana. Sit with your legs stretched out in front of you. Bend your left knee off to the side like a tree pose leg. Turn to face your right leg. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale to stretch out over your leg. So you can take the foot if you're able to go into spinal flexion, or if you're stiffer, it might be better to just work on your upright seat, descending your thigh and breathing your spine tall. You can see the 3 different options of where to go. Just know that one isn't better than the other. Find what's right for your body, where you're working to the 5 on the scale of 1 to 10. If you try to push past that, your nervous system reacts by creating more tension in the body. So it's actually counterproductive. Come back up, change legs, bend the right knee back. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale to stretch out over your leg. Inhale, come back up. Now bend your left knee back. Join the soles of the feet together. Sit in Baddha Konasana. Sit up straight and tall or start to lean forward. So if you're not feeling much stretch in the upright position, you can tip forward as much as you need to find the balance stretch. Come back up. Bring your knees together, and for our final stretch, lie down onto your back with your arms spread out at your side. Cross your right knee over your left. Shift your hips over to the right a bit and let your legs fall over to the left. Bring your knees and your hips back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Hips over to the left a bit. Let your knees fall over to the right. Bring your knees and your hips back to center. Stretch your legs out. And feel free to lie here on your back for as long as you like to let your body completely relax and open up. Thanks so much for joining us today. Namaste.